You know those questions where a simple yes or no just doesn't feel right? Where any direct answer would be, well, kind of misleading. It's a tricky spot to be in. But it turns out the Japanese language has this incredibly short, precise tool just for that. I mean, really think about it for a second. Someone asks you, hey, do you speak Spanish? Maybe you can get by, order some food, ask for directions, but you're not about to debate politics. Saying yes feels like a lie, but no isn't true either. So what do you do? How do you give an answer that's honest and specific? In English, we kind of have to talk our way around it. We build these little verbal fences, right? We say things like, well, if you're just talking about basic conversation, then yeah, sure, it gets the job done, but it can feel a little clunky.
But what if you could do all of that heavy lifting with just one little word? A single grammatical tool designed to elegantly narrow the focus of your answer, instantly. Well, that's exactly what the Japanese particle nara does.
Okay, so the absolute best way to get this is to picture Nara as a spotlight. When you use it, you are shining a bright, focused beam on one specific topic, and everything else is left in the shadows. You're basically telling the other person, listen, what I'm about to say, it applies only to this one thing I'm pointing at. It creates this immediate, powerful sense of contrast.
Now, the whole spotlight idea is a great way to start, but let's see how it actually works in the real world. We're going to look at 3 examples that show just how much nuance a Nara can add, nuance that you would totally miss in a simple translation.
So, let's kick things off with this sentence. Imagine someone asks, have you been to South America? Now, you haven't backpacked the whole continent, but you did visit one specific country. You might say, Chile ni nara ito koto ga arimasu.
So a straight-up translation is just, I have been to Chile. Simple enough. But that nara, that's where the magic is. It adds this unspoken layer that means, but just Chile. You're implying that your experience in South America is limited to that one place. It's the perfect answer to a broad question.
And there it is. That's the spotlight in action. By saying Chile nara, that beam of light is shining squarely on Chile. Your entire statement about having been is contained right there. It's a perfect yes but answer, all packed into one efficient little word.
Okay, let's try another one. Someone gives you a document written in Japanese and asks, can you read this? You glance at it and notice it's written in a specific script, so you say, Hiragana nara yomimasu.
Now, literally this means I can read it if it is hiragana, which gets the basic point across. But the nara is doing so much more work here. It's creating this unspoken contrast, suggesting that your reading ability might not extend to the other writing systems, like the more complex kanji or even katakana. The spotlight is now shining only on hiragana. You're confirming your ability, sure, but you're also politely and precisely limiting it to just that one script without having to say a bunch of extra words.
And for our last example, let's talk shopping. Your friend asks if the stores in this neighborhood are generally expensive. You point to one particular shop and say,
Kono mise nara yasui desu.
The contrast here is everything. You're not making a blanket statement about all the shops. By using nara, you're singling out this one specific shop. The implication is crystal clear. Yeah, this place is cheap, but I'm not making any promises about the one next door.
So now that you've got a feel for what Nara is doing, how do you actually use it yourself? Well, I've got good news. The grammar behind it is incredibly simple. Let's break down how to build these sentences.
You really don't have to worry about a bunch of complex rules or weird exceptions here. Once you get the spotlight idea, putting the sentence together is actually the easy part. It's basically a plug-and-play formula. It all boils down to a simple 3-step process. First, pick your topic. That's the noun you want to shine the spotlight on, like Chile or hiragana. Step 2, just stick nara right after it. And finally, step 3, make your statement that's only true for that specific topic. That's it. Noun, nara, limited statement. You got this. This is the fundamental rule to lock in. Whenever you see the pattern X, nara, Y, it's a signal that the statement Y is true, but only in the specific context of X. It's like drawing a very clear boundary around what you're saying. All right, so let's wrap this up. What are the big takeaways? Narrow is your go-to tool for creating contrast and limitation. It works just like a spotlight, shining a light on one single topic. A great way to think about it in your head is as for X, or if we're strictly talking about X. It's so much more than a simple if, it's a seriously powerful tool for communicating with precision and nuance. So here's a little challenge for you. The next time you're listening to Japanese, whether it's in a movie, a song, or a real conversation, keep an ear out for Nara. Now that you know about its spotlight effect, you'll start to notice just how much unspoken meaning is being carried by this one little particle. Where do you think you'll hear it first?